landed at the airport at 2:30, picked up the vehicle. I had pre-ordered the tire, mattress, and bedding. And lastly, 4 days of food. So this is my first taste of the road leading out of Whitehorse. Beautiful scenery. It's 5:20 here now. You can see by the shadow on the car in front of me, the sun is still quite high in the sky here. It's going to be light here for at least another 5, maybe as much as 6 hours. So I'm going to drive some while the weather's good and the visibility is good. But it's beautiful out here. It really is. So, here goes nothing. Just passed a sign that says next service is 370 kilometers. First thing that struck me as I got on here, a car came toward me with this cloud of dust. So you almost have to stop when you're encountering another vehicle because the dust is so bad. So that'll be a little bit of a nuisance, I suppose. But anyway, it's part of the deal. Been on the road now about a half an hour. I've encountered half a dozen vehicles so far. All of us older ones in the family will remember what the gravel road was like. This is just like the 7th used to be that we lived on, the 7th concession. Same type of road, so. And it's being maintained pretty well too. It's had a grader over it in the last week or so, I can tell. So it's a pretty nice shape. I'm going at about 80, and it's quite comfortable. So these are the Ogilvy Mountains, and this is part of Tombstone Territorial Park. And that sort of barren area that I was showing you earlier, that seems to be disappearing again and giving way to forested areas. There's birches and aspens and stuff like that going here. Just all of a sudden just changed again to this sort of terrain. No comment. Since I was talking about horses a while back, I thought I could give you an update on some other wildlife. I have not seen a moose, a caribou, a grizzly bear, a black bear. I did hear some wolves this morning, but basically what I've seen most of is ravens and chipmunks. Very few other birds as well. Not much bird sound around here. So there's, I guess because there aren't a lot of seeds here. So that gets rid of that whole category of birds. Anyway, it's pretty unpopulated of wildlife as far as I've seen so far. Getting back to the topic of the mountains, I think I might have been mistaken about what I said a while back, because I've seen some eroded areas with sedimentary rock. So I think what we're looking at here is probably sedimentary rock, but that's been eroded quite a bit and rounded off like that, maybe by glaciers. But from what I've seen of where the mountains are sort of cut open with a river or something like that, it looks like it's sedimentary rock. So I've crossed a number of this style of bridge along the way, and those of you who were there at the time will remember that the bridge in Martintown was built along this same sort of design. So this road and these bridges have been around here since at least the 50s. They're all probably post-war structures. That's probably when this road was built. This initial section to at least to McPherson. Too bad it's a little drizzly here, but the mountains here are a little higher than they were back behind me. Can't really guess the height. The road itself, where I am, is quite a lower elevation. I'm probably at around 600, 500 now. The mountains themselves, too, are about 500 or 600 meters, I was guessing. There. You think I'm nuts? Look at that guy. This fellow from Bavaria started in Guatemala and is on his way to the Arctic. Here's forest floor that's been burned out and it's regenerating, and it's the first time that I've come across it seems like a lichen-like ground cover, sort of a cross between grass and lichen, I guess. You can see the young trees re-emerging. I'm guessing about 10 years. All in all, I would have to say that the road is fairly good. What I'm driving on here now, I would class as sort of a B, give it about a B grade. About maybe 35-40% is like that. And another 60% I would call A grade for a gravel road. Really good, nice and wide, nice and smooth. The speed limit is 90 and you can drive 90. And then there's a few spots that are pretty sketchy, maybe about 5%. But all in all, it's pretty good, pretty easy, really. Little towboat. I think this is a cable ferry. Yeah, there's a cable right beside me here. They just roll back and forth on the cable. Pretty simple way to do it. Maybe I won't get on. It's gonna be a tight squeeze. Okay. Our friendly Inuit ferry operator. Thank you, my man. He's whistling as he does his work. So the first ferry was on the Peel River. This is called the Northern Red River. And without having looked at the map too well, it looks like basically both are forks of the Mackenzie that join again north of here and flow into the Mackenzie Delta. It'd be interesting to compare the size of the Mackenzie Delta to Holland, because basically Holland is like that. It's basically, Holland is not all, but a large part of it is Delta. And the Mackenzie Valley Delta, or the Mackenzie Delta, is very large. Matter of fact, it starts pretty well right here where I am and goes all the way from here to the Arctic Ocean. And I'm about 200 kilometers from the Arctic here. So, good morning from the Arctic Circle. It's been raining all night, and because of that, the road is actually a little rougher. So I can see now where people come with that. If you happen to hit this road at the wrong time, after a lot of rain, and it hasn't been graded yet, it is going to be a little rougher. But you'll notice there's still a lot of trees around here. I'm only about an hour out of Inuvik now, and but the other thing is, I'm a lot closer to sea level. It's only about 70 meters elevation here, so that would explain that. But still, amazingly, no tundra or anything like that yet. It's fairly green and not lush wouldn't be the word, but a lot of trees around, that's for sure. So this is a campground about 50 kilometers south of Inuvik. I can't believe the vegetation in here. Like, the trees are quite tall. It's quite amazing, really. Some of these evergreens have to be 60 feet tall here. So there's something sort of odd here about the way the trees grow. If you get all these short little stubby trees here, they're every 10 feet tall. And then just in isolated areas, there's spots like that where they grow 30, 40 feet tall. There's a spot. There's another one. I noticed this yesterday already. Like the ground's better there, or for some reason, there are areas where clumps of trees grow 4 or 5 times higher than the surrounding trees. So here's another example of the same thing. See, here's, generally speaking, very short trees, and then in the middle of nowhere, sort of an island of very tall trees. operation here. Looks like they're working on a Saturday. Oh, they're drilling. They're blasting. Way up on top. Probably blast once a week. Well, this was something I hadn't expected. A paved road. It sure feels different after 2 days of the other. So this is Inuvik. Nice big inn, hotel. Interesting design of houses here. So if you wanted to get here, you could certainly just fly in. I just passed the airport out of town, and lots of places to stay here. Like a normal town, really. See pipes above the ground here. Hard to dig in the frost. I don't know, there's some more of that where that car's going over that little hump. That's a pipe. That's a pipe that's actually above the ground that they built that little ramp over. decided where to put the road. Not that I would pick a different location, but you could literally just put it anywhere through all this open ground here. Actually, they probably looked at the drainage patterns and tried to keep it on the crest as much as possible. It seems that we're up a little bit on a bit of a high spot here, so that's in all likelihood they did something like that. But anyway, it's interesting how it just sort of just meanders across the open country. I can see a car like 2 miles from here across the grass, and it's all pretty flat and open. So this is the worst stretch of road I've been on since I've been on this trip, and mostly it's because of the 24 hours of rain. I expect it's going to be a little bit worse by this afternoon when I come back. Being a weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get back on grading until Monday. So we'll just have to put up with the conditions. About 30 meters, 100 feet above sea level here. Still everything very green. So this is the entrance to Tuktoyaktuk. I have arrived at my destination. A little cool here today. Good to have made it. So, I'm standing here on a little bit of a sandbar that's sticking out into the Arctic Ocean. I'm going to turn this around for a minute. There's the shoreline. I parked up there. I guess people were coming here and swimming in here too much and they don't like it, so they put a sign up, which suits me just fine since I wasn't planning on swimming. But Bill wanted me to put my feet in the water. And, well, I don't know if you will or not. Pretty freaking cold here. I'm going to just walk to the end and you can see how it looks like. So this is a bay here, really, on the ocean. And that's the first island you can see that's having a problem with climate change. You know, closely you can see. I don't know if I can zoom in a little bit on that. It's slipping away into the ocean because the permafrost is disappearing out of that island. There are more like that. Apparently they put this breakwater here because the ocean is getting higher and it's causing more activity and more damage along here. So this is sort of the first defense against climate change. Many more to come, no doubt. Some lady told me they're going to have to relocate this village because it's so low. So that'll be a big deal. Okay, here goes. Talking to a guy who is an electrical contractor here, and he installs wiring underground all year round, he tells me. But apparently some parts here the road was built up about 4 feet and has settled back down that much. So there's a lot of problems here with the permafrost coming out of the ground. It's big issues. You can see the sort of housing that's here, and it's not really a big surprise, I guess, in the sense of we kind of know what these hamlets look like. All gravel streets here. Very small houses. Sort of gives you a flavor of the place. It is a little bit random, it seems, where the streets are, where the houses are built. I get the impression that people still live here a lot on fishing and hunting. As a matter of fact, I actually haven't come across a grocery store. Must be one here somewhere, but it's not on the main drag coming in. School. I was talking to a lady who knew somebody who was ill, and so she had to be medevaced out of here. There's not really a good medical support here. That would be to Inuvik, and if there's a big problem, they have to go to either Yellowknife, or Edmonton. There was a story of one little chap who had kidney problems and needed the dialysis, and 3 times a week, and they had to fly in and out of Edmonton 3 times a week, the kid and his mother. So that gives you an idea of the hardships. If you have medical problems, you are a long way from help. Or you have to move out of here. So it's, not an easy place to live, really. I guess that's what happens at the end of the world, so to speak. Those hills that you see in the distance, they're on an island, and there's another one on the right there, not quite as high. They're called pingos, and I wanted to learn a little more about them, but the information area for that is closed today. But essentially, they're mounds of earth and ice, and they have quite a core of ice, which slowly melts, and the pingo slowly, drops in elevation. You can see the tops are kind of indented. I'm told there's one that has a lake on top, but eventually they're going to disappear. But apparently here in Tuktoyaktuk is the largest concentration and the highest ones in the world. Pingo.
Okay, one more time on 3, we're going to do Arctic Ocean. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Arctic Ocean! Woo!
Arctic Ocean! Arctic Ocean!
Arctic Ocean!
This is Arctic Ocean Fest.
He's got a lot of
They don't have pumpkins here, but they do have a lot of Arctic Ocean. Therefore, Arctic Ocean Fest.